including sending counter-proposals and legislative text to Capitol Hill. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The USS Gerald Ford will be headed for the Middle East in the coming days, part of an effort from the Trump administration to put pressure on Iran to cut a deal on their nuclear program. The Ford will be the second American aircraft carrier deployed to the region. In Minneapolis today,
for more than 30 years, I have been a journalist, and the power and protection of the First Amendment has been the underpinning of my work. The First Amendment, the freedom of the press, the bedrock of our democracy.
Don Lemon, the former CNN host turned independent journalist, pled not guilty to a federal civil rights charge following a protest at a Minnesota church where an immigration and customs enforcement official is a pastor. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time 4:18. We've spoken with the newest member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for the very first time since he was called to serve earlier this week. KSL News Radio's Adam Small had a chance to sit down with Elder Clark G. Gilbert.
Elder Gilbert told me the last 72 hours have been both overwhelming and amazing for him and his family. He says in the past, he and his wife Christine stayed up late talking the night before one of his new callings was publicly announced, like when he was called to serve as the president of BYU Idaho in 2015, then again when he was called to serve as a General Authority 70 in 2021. But after he was called to serve as an apostle, he says,
nothing could have prepared us for the feelings we had the night before this was announced to the world. And we just sat in bed and wept and prayed.
Elder Gilbert says his wife and 8 children have been incredibly supportive of him accepting the lifetime call to be a special witness of Jesus Christ to all the world.
As an apostle of the Lord Jesus Christ, I hope I will bear witness of his name everywhere I go. But I also have a responsibility to hear him and to act on what he would have me do.
Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 4:19. We have traffic and weather together. We're brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Well, Jeff, slowdowns in the Salt Lake Valley start out confined between 6 South and about 2100 South, both north and southbound here in the valley. Southbound, it starts Murray, leads right through Midvale, and continues less than freeway speeds towards the point of the mountain. Coming in off of Lehigh over the top of the point back into Salt Lake. A little bit slow there on 146 South. 215 is working quite well if you're westbound 201. The only slowdown I see is approaching 215 there at the interchange. Eric?
Big slowdown spots in Utah County, southbound 15, Timpanogos Highway in Lehigh, all the way down to Linden. And you've got it from Spanish Fork southbound all the way to Payson, where a crash is still being cleaned up. Thirsty for better water? Culligan has you covered. From softeners and filtration to bottle-free coolers and bottled water delivery. Trusted local experts to make water taste amazing. Visit CulliganSLC.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
There's the mic. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Kevin Eubank is here with the weekend weather forecast.
The weekend has arrived and temperatures are looking up for Valentine's Day. In fact, we're going to warm into the low 50s, our normal this time of year. 44, we're headed to 53 in Salt Lake, 64 in St. George. A really pretty Valentine's Day. Mostly cloudy, 57. South winds are going to pick up on Sunday and then intensify on Monday. Mostly cloudy and near record warmth. Jeff, the record on Monday is 62. We're forecasting a high of 61, so we're going to be very warm. All of that wind and warm coming ahead of a storm. Tuesday, valley rain, mountain snow. Wednesday, valley rain changing over to valley snow, and some of that will linger into Thursday.
Are we talking about accumulation?
Potential for a 1 to 2 inch storm in the valleys. The mountains get another foot to a foot and a half. Really good storm cycle coming through next week, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. An inch feels like a blizzard at this point.
At this point, it is.
It's 46 degrees. Have a great weekend, Kevin. KSL News Time 422.
Amanda, every business needs IT help. And sometimes you've got that guy who already works for your company who knows how to do this stuff. But sometimes you don't. Or the guy who knows the IT stuff, that's not his actual job.
Right. So Les Olson IT they can be your 24/7 help desk. They can support your existing help desk. They can do advanced cybersecurity protection. Maybe just come and take a look. Are you subject to phishing or ransomware or other things? What are the cyber threats you're facing?
And you've got to make sure that your data is secure. So both cloud and data backup solutions, they can help you with that. Plus, everybody's got to use a computer. That's where hardware comes in, infrastructure support. You don't have to know all this stuff because Les Olson IT knows it.
And most of the time, they can help you fix whatever's going wrong remotely, just off your computer. Plus, of course, they have copiers and printers. They always will at the very best price.
Les Olson IT is your trusted local IT partner. They've been in business for 70 years, and they've got 9 locations from Logan to Las Vegas.
Find out more at lesolson.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Elevate your dining at The Roof, now serving lunch and dinner. Enjoy city views and cozy favorites like signature steak, pork, or salmon entrees. Visit theroofslc.com.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL. You know who's paying the tariffs? You. Americans are paying a whopping 90% of the tariffs through price increases. That's according to a report from the New York Federal Reserve. This finding contrary to the Trump administration's claim that foreigners pay most of these levies. Nike has reintroduced its all conditions gear outdoor brand this year, just in time for the Winter Games. The resurgence of the brand shows Nike's pivot from lifestyle looks to functional performance. UPS is facing a lawsuit after announcing plans to cut 30,000 jobs. The Teamsters Union has filed a temporary restraining order against UPS, accusing the company of launching an illegal buyout scheme. On Wall Street today, the Dow up 48 points, closing at 49,500. The S&P was up 3, while the Nasdaq was down 50 points. KSL News Time, 426.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. And when my wife Dee and I moved into our new home a few years back, would you care to guess what was one of the first purchases we made for the home?
It was a water softener, Doug.
That's right, but not just any water softener. The fact is, Dee and I, just won't settle for anything less than Connecticut. For one thing, Connecticut softeners are so well designed, they use 2/3 less salt than other softeners. And I tell you, my back really appreciates carrying in just 1 bag of salt compared to 3 that my neighbors are carrying in. For another, Connecticut's all-mechanical design never needs adjustment, even if the power goes out or some household water use changes. In fact, it's virtually maintenance-free, meaning there are no annoying knobs to fiddle with. You really should look into the water softener from Connecticut. To learn more, call Connecticut of Utah at 801-576-8600 or go to softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370. 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Mortgage interest rates are at their lowest point in nearly 2 years. So why go to a bank or credit union when you can go to Loans by Rick? Rick has been doing mortgage loans for 25 years, and many customers go to Loans by Rick after shopping banks and credit unions to get a lower interest rate and lower closing costs. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, call 801-809-SAVE or click loansbyrick.com. Rick Kirschenbaum, NMLS 241179, and Vintage Lending, NMLS 287106. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Traffic in Salt Lake County here moving quite well north and southbound on I-15. Just the usual slowdown southbound Murray, leading towards the point of the mountain there. It'll be stop and go. If you're westbound 201, it's a little sluggish from the 13th on ramp on I-15 collector, leading westbound to 201 to just about the 215 interchange there. Eric?
Still got a crash about a mile before the 800 South exit in Payson. Southbound 15 backed up through that area. Bigger backups also as you go from Lehigh to Linden. Are you tired of dealing with missing teeth? Are you ready to ditch the dentures? The experts at Stubbs Dental can change your life with dental implants. Get started at StubbsDental.com today. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the weekend is here and temperatures are going to climb. Today we're in the 40s with a few scattered rain showers still hanging around. Partly cloudy and 53 on Saturday, mostly cloudy 57 on Sunday. We'll jump into the low 60s on Monday ahead of a storm that will bring valley rain mixing over to snow for Tuesday, Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
47 degrees in Ogden. It's 49 in Provo and St. George. They have sunshine still at 61 degrees.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. It's 48 degrees. KSL's top story. BYU wide receiver Parker Kingston will be released from jail on a $100,000 bail. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott has details on his first court appearance today.
Kingston appeared virtually for his first hearing today from the Purgatory Correctional Facility in Washington County. He was wearing a gray striped jumpsuit as the judge discussed his case and explained that a felony rape charge carries a penalty of 5 years to life in prison. During this hearing, the state agreed to a $100,000 bail as long as Kingston agreed to not contact the victim in this case and to wear a GPS ankle monitor.
We would ask that he also not use any social media while this case is pending and not publicly disparage the alleged victim or any of the witnesses.
Kingston's next court appearance is set for February 25th. Claire Scott, KSL News Radio.
A Utah man has been charged with injuring a parole officer while trying to escape custody.
According to police documents, 43-year-old Sergio Ramirez was being transported to the Salt Lake County Jail when he started kicking the back window of the car in an attempt to escape. Police say when the glass shattered, a parole agent was struck in the eye by a piece of shrapnel, which resulted in a cut on his cornea. In 2015, Ramirez made similar headlines for an incident where an officer fell 10 feet after trying to arrest him on the roof of a strip mall in West Valley City. Ramirez has been charged with aggravated assault, attempted aggravated escape, and property damage. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Ring doorbell cameras aren't going to link up with Flock Safety anymore. That's the software law enforcement agencies like ICE have access to. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson reports it's all because of a Super Bowl commercial.
Ring released an ad showing their search party technology, which helps locate lost pets. And even though search party and Flock aren't related, Brandon Amaker, director of the Emerging Tech Policy Lab at Utah Valley University, says it got people talking about the line between safety and privacy. Amaker says law enforcement still have to get a warrant or homeowner's permission to access doorbell camera footage with or without Flock. It would have just streamlined the process.
What Flock would have done is it would allow this platform, which law enforcement already uses, which gives them a big data dashboard of different feeds, different cameras that are kind of available in certain areas, and it would allow them to request that access through the app.
But now that planned partnership is not coming to fruition. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 4:33. Our top national story: friction is growing between the FBI and local investigators in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The FBI says the Pima County Sheriff has been keeping key evidence from them. Forensic criminologist Dr. Laura Petler told News Nation, this kind of thing happens more than you think.
I've worked in this field for 25 years, specifically in homicide, which is always very political in nature. And it's not uncommon for agencies not to get along, not to play well with others. And it's unfortunate, specifically in this type of case.
She says it'd be easier for the FBI to take the lead in this investigation. The inflation rate fell to 2.4% in January, but this morning we learned the prices for some goods and services are still going up.
Prices are still going up, but they're not going up as fast, and that is good news. That 2.4% annual inflation rate is the lowest rate since May of last year. That was right after President Trump announced a slew of tariffs, and we had seen prices going up in the months after that. Now it looks like prices are still going up, but not quite as fast.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. Lindsey Vonn will undergo her 4th surgery tomorrow for her broken leg today. Vonn posted an update to Instagram from her hospital bed.
I am just in the hospital, very much immobile. But I have a lot of friends and family that have been coming to visit.
Lindsey Vonn says it's been a hard few days. KSL News Time, 4:34.
The 2026 Winter Games on KSL News Radio, brought to you by America First Credit Union.
This day in the history of the Winter Games, 1976 on this date, Dorothy Hamill won gold in the women's free skate in Austria. Here's KSL News Radio's Isabella Sosa.
Hamill was only 19 at the time. She was born in Chicago and raised in Connecticut. She began competing at the age of 9. Also on this day in 2014, a Japanese skater was the first to break the 100-point barrier in the short program. He got 101.45 points in the Sochi Winter Games.
The slopestyle freestyle event made its debut on this date in 2014. This day in the history of the games brought to you by America First Credit Union. America First can help your money do more. That's why Utahns choose them more than any other credit union. Join today at americafirst.com. It's 4:36. We have your first look traffic. Covering the weekend getaway, here's Mark Christiansen.
Well, we've got some good news. If you're traveling southbound on I-15 through Utah County, still some heavy traffic towards the 6 off-ramp, Highway 6 there in Spanish Fork. But they have removed the accident in Payson. However, it's pretty much a parking lot leading through the Payson area and headed further southbound. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
And my Minute of News is on the way next.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln.
by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. My son might be one of the busiest people on earth. Benj is starting a new job on Monday. He has twin baby girls on the way in April. He's extremely active in his community, and yesterday he texted me, "Are you watching the match?" And I'm like, "What match? I have no idea." So what's he talking? "What match, Benj?" He texts back, "Curling." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You still haven't figured out which super stroller I need to buy for the twins. You have to paint the nursery. Rose is perfectly percolating those precious little granddaughters at the speed of light. This is happening, son. You're almost a dad and you're watching curling? I don't get it." But a lot of people are watching what might be the most boring, low-energy sport in existence. Every 4 years, people get obsessed about this slippery, slow-motion version of shuffleboard. Curling may be the least athletic sport this side of playing paper football on a restaurant table, but to bond with my son, soon to be a dad, yesterday I did the deep dive on curling, and the first thing I found was this grainy black and white video from the 1972 Curling Championship.
This is Melischuk's last stone. He must count 2 for the tie.
One of the guys, as he sweeps, has a cigarette dangling from his lips, another one's holding a beer, and this is the World Championship. Now in Milan, one of the guys on Team USA is 54 years old.
I really appreciate these guys giving me that chance, and I love them.
That's Rich Ruhonen, a 54-year-old personal injury lawyer who has to wear a T-shirt that says, "I'm not the coach." Point of reference, Lindsey Vonn is 41. This lawyer is 13 years older, and if he can curl in between lawsuits against insurance companies, anybody can do it. And maybe that's the appeal. So, darling son, enjoy your curling, because I know 2 reasons you're not going to be watching it at the next Olympic Games. No, you won't.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Southbound I-15 in the Salt Lake Valley here, moving at freeway speeds from the downtown area all the way through 4500 South. You will tap the brakes from that point now through just about 106 South or so. Make that 114 South, and then it's going to be a little bit slow coming northbound out of Utah County back into the Salt Lake Valley here through about 123rd as well. If you are making your way into Davis County, it's good traffic flow pretty much all the way from downtown. A little congested between North Salt Lake leading to about 2600 South in Woods Cross. From that point on, you got a good 15-20 minute drive all the way through the Ogden area. Southbound 15 from 24th Street now, a little bit crowded back towards the Sunset area. Eric.
A long, slow stretch north part of Utah County, southbound I-15, basically from Triumph Boulevard and 2100 North all the way down to Pioneer Crossing. Further south, you got major slowdowns as well. Although the crash has been cleared in Payson, the slowdown start in Spanish Fork and go all the way down past that accident site and past Payson a little bit too on the way to Santa Quinn. Arrive in style for all of life's events, from the first suit to the first dance. Preparing to serve, we're starting a life together. Every age, every milestone for nearly 60 years. Mr. Mack helping you look the best for all of life's events. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the temperatures are going to climb for the weekend. Our normal this time of year is 44. Today, we've been in the upper 40s and we're headed into the low 50s. 53 and partly cloudy on Saturday. How about upper 50s and mostly cloudy Sunday? We'll get some south wind on Monday and go to 61 degrees ahead of a storm that'll move in Tuesday, bringing valley rain mixing with snow. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 degrees, so a partial government shutdown is coming tonight. Will you be impacted? We're going to go in depth for answers in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We're streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
And it's a word that man can eat at all. When things are big that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells we'll be doing for us? And I'm giving up my love to this world, only to be told I can see.
Amanda, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the theater is laugh. Any show, it doesn't matter. So one that's designed to make me laugh from start to finish, boy, that is in my wheelhouse. And that's what we've got with Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
When we went into the theater, I'm not sure what we were expecting, but we started laughing early on. And then I realized, I'm laughing that big, loud, obnoxious laugh of mine. But mine wasn't the loudest laugh in the theater. We were all laughing, and that made it more fun.
But you walk in, it actually takes a second to realize, oh, wait, this is actually funny from the moment the curtain rises, and it makes you laugh all the way to the end.
We need that, Andy. Don't we need that?
Oh, it's so helpful, and it's so fun to do in a group of people. It just makes everything more enjoyable.
This is in the Jewel Box stage, and then in the brand new theater.
We've got more laughs with Hallmarked, a spoof on that brand new stage, a new theater at Hale Center Theater to enjoy.
And you can still get season tickets and enjoy all of the wonderful shows, including Anastasia, to finish out the year at Hale Center Theater.
So you can get tickets by calling the box office at 801-984-9000 or online at hct.org.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? It's natural to think of this as being your money, right? But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And you could be paying a lot more in taxes on these accounts than you know. A lot more. Learn the strategies that can help you reduce or eliminate your taxes in retirement. Don't miss a special edition of Retirement Solutions Radio this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Right here on KSL News Radio 1027.
KSL News Time, 4:45. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
Ring doorbell cameras won't be implementing law enforcement's flock safety software anymore after their recent Super Bowl commercial led to customer concerns about privacy. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, a Utah man has been charged after police say he injured a parole officer while trying to escape custody. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot
is in Utah County. Starts just about the 92 on-ramp and carries on all the way through the Orem area, and then you're going to be in that slower traffic pattern leading from Provo all the way through the Payson area. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
A few lingering showers today will give way to partly cloudy skies and 50s for the weekend. I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Hours left to go now before an expected partial government shutdown. Lawmakers left D.C. on recess today without striking a deal on DHS funding. Democrats have been holding out for reforms to immigration and customs enforcement. The U.S. is growing its military presence in the Middle East, sending another carrier strike group to the region in an effort to pressure Iran to strike a deal on its nuclear program.
President Trump continues his blunt talk when it comes to making a deal with Iran over its nuclear program, leaving open the possibility of U.S. military action.
Give us the deal that they should have given us the first time. If they give us the right deal, we won't do that. But, you know, historically, they haven't done that. I will say they want to talk, but so far they do a lot of talking and no action.
The president said he does not want Iran to have any nuclear enrichment capabilities. He has previously said the U.S., quote, obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities.
ABC's Karen Travers, this is ABC News.
KSL News Time 447. The Department of Homeland Security runs out of money tonight after lawmakers failed to find a funding compromise. Joining me live, Dr. Damon Cann, the head of the Political Science Department of Utah State University. Can you walk us through this shutdown? First of all, will things like Social Security be paid? Will the IRS accept your tax return and issue a refund? Do we have to worry about any of those kind of things?
We don't have to worry about those kinds of things. This is just a partial government shutdown in contrast to the government-wide shutdown that we saw last fall. So the IRS is open. The only part of the federal government affected by this particular shutdown is the Department of Homeland Security, which had a temporary funding measure in place. That funding is now expired, and it hasn't been renewed with a new set of funding moving forward beginning tomorrow.
So how does that impact like the average Joe? Will we not see any impact whatsoever?
So for the typical American, at least for the next few days and maybe even a little bit longer than that, you won't notice much of anything because something on the order of 95% of Department of Homeland Security employees are deemed essential employees that must report to work regardless of whether there's this partial shutdown going on or not. So people like immigration and customs enforcement agents still have to go to work. The folks from Homeland Security that staff our airports, they're still going to work. But after a certain period of time, they will begin not being paid. And that's when the pain begins. And we might start seeing some effects for the average American.
We remember from the full government shutdown, the TSA guys don't get paid. They stop showing up at work. It's a huge concern. How long did it take last time before we started seeing that at the airports? Do you remember?
We were just shy of 50 days when the shutdown resolved, but it was probably close to a month before we started seeing large numbers of people at airports not showing up for work. Senator John Thune, a Republican in the Senate, has already signaled that it is possible that if this goes on long enough that we could start seeing some of those implications down the line.
Now, we know Congress has left Washington for recess. How long are they on vacation this time?
I don't know exactly how long. We've got the President's Day holiday. But the bigger question is how fast can they find the political will to reach a compromise? Right now, there's disputes between Democrats and Republicans over funding of Homeland Security, primarily because of the controversy over immigration and customs enforcement issues of the sort that we've seen a lot of unrest over in Minnesota. And the sooner that they can find common ground on those issues, the sooner we'll be able to get Homeland Security back up and running.
Yes, to this point.
In ways we're accustomed to.
Yeah, both sides have been talking past each other to this point. Thanks a lot for letting us know what's ahead. Dr. Damon Cann, the head of Poli-Sci at Utah State University. 450 at KSL. It's traffic and weather together. We're brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Northbound 15 here in the Salt Lake Valley. A little bit slow between 33rd and the downtown off-ramps there. If you're southbound I-15, just keep in mind the usual slowdowns are in place. They start about 47 south, continue pretty much through the Salt Lake Valley here with less than freeway speeds to the end of the point, or to the point of the mountain. Now, if you're coming from Utah County back into Salt Lake here, you'll have a little bit of a slowdown right there through the Draper area, and then it slows down in the Davis County area, right around the north interchange there, leading right through the North Salt Lake area. But after that, you've got a good 20-minute commute at freeway speeds leading all the way up and through the Ogden area. 215 Legacy Freeway all look good coming in and out of Davis County as well. Eric? traffic?
Not a good day to be driving southbound I-15 in Utah County from Thanksgiving Point. You got one long stretch of slowdowns all the way down to the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. And then past that, we've had accidents, and the delays are still there, although the accident in Payson has been moved off the road. That's still very slow going through the heart of Payson, but the delays stretch back up to about 400 south in Springville. Don't miss the Sportsman's Vacation and RV Show coming to the Mountain America Expo February 12th through 15th. Hundreds of RVs all in one location. Buy tickets online at UtahRVShow.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts with a pretty nice weekend, but then a strong storm coming through midweek. Tonight, 31 for the low, 53 partly cloudy for our Valentine's Day. Mostly cloudy, 57 on Sunday, and then strong south winds pick up, bumping us to 61 degrees on President's Day Monday. That'll be near a record in Salt Lake. Storm moves in Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll start as valley rain, mix with valley snow. All the while, the mountains get plastered all the way through the middle to end of the week. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Well, that sounds kind of nice. 46 degrees in Salt Lake City, your 7-day forecast. Brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Here comes the weekend.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
If the heat inside your house is seeping out those old drafty windows, it's costing you a ton of money. But you can stop your hard-earned cash from disappearing into thin air thanks to Advanced Window Products. Right now, they're going to give you $2,500 off your quote on replacement windows and frames, but not just any windows. They create custom state-of-the-art double-pane windows with insulated frames, windows that'll increase the value and enhance the look of your home. Advanced Windows will save you 30, even 40% off the prices charged by the biggest window companies. And the good news is they do install during winter time. Windows are guaranteed for life, and if you're thinking it's got to be expensive, they offer buy now, pay later. They'll work with you on financing. Your payments could be as low as $150 a month. So call them for a quote. Save an extra $2,500 and zip your house up. 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Or go to advancedwindows.com.
Tired of hot, uncomfortable dress shirts that don't hold up? Meet Serve Clothing. The mesh collar shield blocks sweat stains, and built-in vents keep you comfortable under suits in any season. Extra length stays tucked. Antimicrobial fabric keeps you fresh, and every shirt is backed by a 2-year guarantee. And right now is your chance to get the best for free. Head to serveclothing.com/win and enter for a chance to win $500 in free Serve shirts, so you can start your mission with gear that works as hard as you do. While you're there, get mission ready at the Serve Missionary Hub. Hear from recently returned missionaries. Get mission tips, advice, and more at serveclothing.com/win. Serve shirts sold out 4 times last year. Enter the $500 missionary giveaway and grab yours before they're gone at serveclothing.com/win. Serve Clothing. Dress shirts that actually serve you. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents aged 18 or older. Void where prohibited. Entry must be received by May 31st, 2026. One winner will receive a $500 credit to serveclothing.com. Official rules and details at serveclothing.com/win. Ready for your next vehicle? At Performance Automotive in Bountiful, your new Ford, Toyota, or Honda is here. Built for Utah communities, Canyon weekends, and everything in between. Choose capability with Ford, long-lasting reliability with Toyota, or smooth efficiency with Honda. Backed by friendly experts and financing options that fit your budget. Visit Performance Ford, Performance Toyota, and Performance Honda for your test drive. Browse inventory, check pricing, and schedule your visit at performancebountiful.com. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, driven to be the best.
We're watching Utah's money digging deeper in today's inflation report. Egg prices are down 34%. A year ago, there were jokes about getting a mortgage to buy a dozen eggs. At one point, they were more than $9 a dozen. It's a little lonely at Wendy's these days. The company's in the process of shutting down up to 6% of their restaurants. By June, we don't know if any restaurants in Utah will be putting plywood in the windows. There's been a crash in cocoa prices. They've fallen through the floor. But shopping for Valentine's Day, you wouldn't know. The problem is chocolatiers bought their cocoa back when prices were up in the stratosphere, and you're going to pay for it this weekend. Wall Street, the Dow up 48, the S&P down 3, and the NASDAQ lost 50 points.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through March 22nd, switch to Comcast Business and get started with 150 megabit internet plus Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or ask how to lock in your rate for 5 years on a qualifying internet bundle and get a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. For a limited time only. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
At KSL News Radio, we have a 30-year legacy of honoring Utah teachers, but we can't do it without your help. Please tell us about an important teacher in your life on a KSL Teacher Tribute Wall presented by Cypress Credit Union. Each month, one lucky teacher wins a $500 gift card from Cypress Credit Union, a $250 gift card to Harmon's, plus season tickets to Hale Center Theater. Say thanks to your teacher today at kslnewsradio.com/teacher from Cypress Credit Union and KSL News Radio.
Stay alert on the roads. It's Friday the 13th. We have traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Mark Christiansen.
North and southbound I-15 through the Salt Lake Valley here, just with the usual slowdowns in the usual places, mainly southbound from Murray leading to the point of the mountain. 215, the west belt, is in really good shape. No major delays or problems there. East belt in great shape as well. An accident eastbound 114 south at Redwood Road, keeping things a little bit slow off to that right side. Eric?
Big delays southbound 15 Utah County, Lehigh to Linden. At UTA, we move your early mornings, your long days, your big plans. We move purpose. We move you. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. I'm Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're moving toward a storm next Wednesday that could put an inch or two on the valley floor. Meantime, down to 31 degrees overnight for tomorrow, partly cloudy and 53. Sunday, clouds and up to 56 degrees. Get ready for sunset at 5:59 tonight.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon. This is the 5 o'clock report. 20 minutes of uninterrupted news, commercial free. I'm Jeff Caplan. KSL's top story. The DA wants to throw the book at the driver who left 3 disabled men in his van and left it running for hours. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson says the driver's being charged with 3 counts of murder.
25-year-old Isaiah Pulu was the caretaker who was supposed to take these 3 men with special needs on an outing. Instead, Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill says Pulu took them to his apartment and left them in a running van in the garage for more than 4.5 hours while he went inside.
Pulu then stated that he was trying to gain weight, that he needed to eat, and wanted to watch his anime.
And to make matters worse, Gill says Pulu had been admonished a month prior for a similar thing.
In this notice, the defendant was reprimanded for client abandonment because he had left 3 clients unsupervised for 30 minutes while they were waiting for their transport.
Gill says the apartment above the garage had carbon monoxide alarms going off, indicating levels were triple what would have been considered fatal, and Pulu still didn't check on them. Gill says he filed murder charges because this goes beyond reckless behavior. This was indifference to human life. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
So instead of manslaughter, Isaiah Pulu has been charged with a triple murder. KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joined Midday, pointing out the charges could be seen as unusual.
Typically in Utah, a murder requires an intentional act, that you intended to cause someone's death. And if it's not intentional, then we look at reckless, and that's what we call manslaughter. But there's something in between, and Sim Gill mentioned this, which is creating a grave risk of death. So the fact that he had done this before, the fact that he'd been warned about this before, the fact that he knew that there were consequences makes it a little bit worse than reckless.
If convicted, Greg says Isaiah Pulu could spend the rest of his life in prison. A retired Salt Lake City fire chief charged with child sex crimes will not be leaving jail. He's been denied bail. Kelly Carter appeared in court for the first time today. He's accused of purchasing child sex abuse material with crypto and then watching it on the job. The judge has scheduled another hearing for March. The Granite School District has fired a bus driver. Police arrested him for allegedly sharing images of child sex abuse. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson with details.
The bus driver was just hired this past fall, and the district says he passed all background checks. But this week, Casey Golding was arrested after an investigation by the Utah Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Those investigators, they say a social media company tipped them off to an account that they believed was uploading and distributing images of children being sexually abused. Investigators say they found those types of images on Golding's phone.
The district says there's no indication that any local children were among the victims. KSL News Time 5:03. Our top national story, Congress has gone home for vacation, leaving the country with a partial government shutdown. It'll begin tonight. Before they left D.C., Democrats made proposals, the White House made proposals, and it all went nowhere.
We don't know what are in those counter proposals and what exactly are the non-starters at this point for the White House. They have said that there are some things they will consider from Democrats, some things that are just off the table, but the White House has been very clear they're not going to negotiate this in public, so we don't know exactly where the president stands on this.
ABC's Karen Travers at the White House. For the average Utahn, you probably won't notice that anything's different.
Something on the order of 95% of Department of Homeland Security employees are deemed essential employees that must report to work regardless of whether there's this partial shutdown going on or not. So the folks from Homeland Security that staff our airports, they're still going to work. But after a certain period of time, they will begin not being paid. And that's when the pain begins. And we might start seeing some effects for the average American.
Dr. Damon Cann is the head of the political science department at USU. Just minutes ago, he told us the partial shutdown would have to go on for a while before federal employees might decide to simply stop going to work. The U.S. is sending a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East. The USS Gerald Ford is on the way. Its mission to let Iran's government know that the president is serious. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pennell.
Certainly a bold move, and it sends a very strong message, I think, towards Iran, having two carrier strike groups. There are other things that have happened, for example, fighter jets landing in Jordan, strengthening of defences throughout the region. Basically creates this impression that if the US wants to act militarily, it's going to have more than enough resources there to be able to operate offensively.
For now, talks continue toward getting rid of what's left of Iran's nuclear program. KSL News Time 5:05. First look traffic on the 5 o'clock report. Here's Mark Christiansen.
It's the get out of town slowdowns through Utah County. Starts in Lehigh, continues pretty much through Provo, breaks up a little bit, but then you're back in it from pretty much Spanish Fork, now down towards the Santaquin area. Southbound I-15, just real heavy traffic. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time 5:05. Utah environmental groups are reacting to President Trump's decision to repeal an EPA standard known as the endangerment finding. Utah Clean Energy's Kelby Golpole tells Midday this takes away a lot of legal teeth the EPA once had.
It was based on decades of scientific consensus establishing the relationship between greenhouse gas emissions and harms to public health. So without that in place, this is kind of the Wild West, a free-for-all for polluters.
In his announcement rolling back the standard, President Trump said the regulations fell outside of the law and had been bad for many businesses. He called the endangerment finding a scam. KSL News Time 5:06. KSL Sports tomorrow. Jimmer Fredette will be given BYU basketball's highest honor. His jersey will be hoisted to the rafters of the Marriott Center. After the game with Colorado, they'll hold a special ceremony. The jersey will display his last name, but come on. All you need is his first.
You know, whenever you're known as an athlete by your first name, you made it big, and that's Jimmer.
KSL's BYU insider, Mitch Harper. You'll hear the game and the ceremony tomorrow, starting with Cougar Sports Saturday at noon. Tip-offs at 2 on KSL News Radio and the KSL News Radio app. The NBA is fining the Utah Jazz $500,000, not just for tanking, but for the way they did it, pulling their stars out of the fourth quarter of close games. Utah Jazz insider Ben Anderson says the Indiana Pacers recently got fined for the same type of thing, but theirs was only $100,000.
That's a part of the big issue right now is they feel very selective. They don't hold everybody to the same standard, and now the Jazz have been hit with it twice in the last 16 months, 12 months.
The NBA is fining the Jazz $500,000 for benching Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen in the fourth quarter of games against the Magic and the Miami Heat. Anderson says this is a first for the league. If you're planning on watching men's figure skating this evening on KSL TV, I want to give you a spoiler alert. Walk away for a few moments, okay? The USA's quad god left the ice in tears this afternoon after falling twice during his final free skate. That means Ilya Malinin failed to medal. He placed 8th overall, and he wasn't the only one to fall either. Another USA teammate also fell twice, and some are saying the ice was soft, in essence, extra slippery today. KSL News Time 5:08. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. I have a little radio trade secret for you. Every male radio announcer on earth wishes his voice was deeper. The gold standard for deep voice announcers was the late Don LaFontaine. You do know his voice. For decades, he was the guy in the movie trailers who always said, "In a world."
In a world that's powered by violence. In a world in the year 2000.
But in a world where there's no Don LaFontaine anymore, the world's deepest voice is a guy named Tim. Tim Storms is 48 years old. To picture him, he has a shaved head, a wisp of a beard, average-sized guy, but his voice makes walls vibrate.
I got a wall. Got to
He's in the Guinness Book of Records for world's deepest voice. Tim Storms could say, "Honey, get me a cup of coffee," and the mug would fall off the counter by itself. But he doesn't use this gift for commercials or movie trailers. Tim uses this gift to sing Christian music, like you're listening to now. This is the part that blows my mind. Sometimes he sings, but you'll never hear it. Tim Storms can hit an infrasonic note so low that it can't be detected by the human ear.
Kind of hear him in my head as far as the sound my vocal cords are making. But as far as the frequencies, it's something more or less that I feel.
You can't hear his best note. He only feels the sound. So he probably wouldn't work very well for radio after all, because Tim Storms' best work, his lowest note, can only be detected by elephants.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Hi. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Well, it looks like we may have an accident near 53rd South, northbound I-15. It looks like traffic's pretty much slow, if not stopped, through the area there. I've been looking for it on the camera here. Haven't quite figured out what's going on there yet, but if you're coming upon that over the South Interchange, just be prepared to slow down. Now, going the opposite direction, your slowdowns southbound 15 start just about 4700 South, and they will continue less than freeway speeds until you hit the point of the mountain. Over the point and into Utah County, a little bit quicker there. Now, coming from the downtown area into Davis County. Traffic seems to be flowing quite well at freeway speeds, and it continues that way all the way into the end of Davis County, first part of Weber County area. From Ogden 31st Street back towards Sunset, it's going to be slow through that construction zone there. Eric?
Southbound I-15, drivers in Utah County beset with delays this afternoon. It's a really slow haul from Timpanogos Highway all the way down to the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. And then past that, the delays start up again on approach to Spanish Fork. By the way, we've had a couple of accidents there. One on the off-ramp to Highway 6. That was an overturned truck that took a long time for things to get back to a semblance of its normal self. And then you've got southbound slowdown still all the way down past an accident that took place in Payson on the way to Santa Quin. Upgrade your water with Culligan with top quality systems for homes and businesses. Softeners, filtration, bottle-free coolers, and bottled water delivery. Local experts, trusted solutions. Visit CulliganSLC.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
As we head through the 5 o'clock hour, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the mid-40s. We'll slide into the low 40s by 6 o'clock. Sunset tonight is at 6 o'clock. And then we'll dip into the upper 30s as we roll through 8, 9, mid-30s for 10. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank with your hourly forecast on the 5 o'clock report.
52 degrees tomorrow, Sunday up to 56, and right now 46 degrees with about 45 minutes till sunset at 5:59. KSL News Time 5:12. U.S. speed skater in the Winter Games and Utah native Casey Dawson has dropped out of the 10,000-meter race. KSL TV's Deanie Wimmer told Midday that Dawson said he wasn't in a good place mentally to compete in the race.
It was surprising because that's considered one of his strengths. That's one of his strong races. And so he announced he was withdrawing, that he felt like he wanted to focus on his team pursuit. And he said he wanted to focus on his 1,500-meter race. U.S.
coach Gabe Gerard said the decision didn't come as a surprise and always had been an option. The bill to level the playing field for taxpayers in Utah, married or not, has passed in a State House committee. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson here.
Representative Melissa Garf-Ballard says for a long time there have been big tax advantages for single parents. Married households making the same amount of money as the single households end up paying more in taxes, and in many cases it makes people choose not to get married. So Ballard wants to treat everyone equally with a flat tax credit, hopefully helping to increase our falling marriage rates.
Billy Hesterman with the Utah Taxpayers Association says this bill could mean that single filer taxes will go up, but it might not be significant. The bill is waiting to be heard in House chambers. Springville police are looking for 3 teens suspected of breaking into a church and making a mess.
The church on 1200 West, 900 South was left a mess. Police say a church member found them throwing water bottles and hymn books all over while smoking marijuana. They also left behind a biohazard situation on the carpet and pulpit. Police say these poopy bandits are also suspected of assaulting another teen at the McDonald's on 400 South and trying to steal his electric scooter. The department is asking anyone who may know something to reach out. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
And yes, you heard that right. KSL News Time 5:14. Police are investigating after a Utah mom says her 15-year-old daughter was nearly kidnapped by her Lyft driver. Details from ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Utah mom Karina Ramirez says she called a Lyft for her daughter Caitlin Saturday to take her to an appointment. Then just moments after the driver picked her daughter up, she says she received a chilling phone call.
She's like, Mom, did you just cancel the Lyft? And I was like, no, I didn't. She's like, yeah, the driver is stating that you canceled the Lyft. And I was like, Caitlin, he just canceled the ride. He did it.
She says it was the driver who canceled the ride, offering to drive Caitlin to her destination anyway.
Police are investigating the claims, and Lyft says the driver has been removed from the app. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
the Springville Police Department is looking for 3 teens accused of breaking into and vandalizing a church on 1200 West, 900 South, followed by an assault at a nearby McDonald's. I'm KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla.
Second, BYU wide receiver Parker Kingston is being released from jail on $100,000 bail. Kingston is facing felony rape charges in Washington County. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Well, it looks like northbound I-15 at 5400 South. The big dump truck has decided to park there, and I'm sure he's got some engine problems in the center lane. Traffic backing up over the south interchange. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
A few lingering showers today will give way to partly cloudy skies and 50s for the weekend. I'm Kevin Eubank.
46 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now, our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. 2 immigration agents put on administrative leave, say officials, after they were found to have made untruthful statements about shooting a migrant in Minnesota last month. At the time, that shooting was labeled a violent attack on law enforcement that resulted in charges against 2 men.
This is coming from the top ranks of ICE. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons saying that video evidence appears to show that the agents that were involved in this officer-involved shooting may have been lying about the sequence of events. Now, we haven't seen that video, but we do know that just yesterday we were reporting that the top federal prosecutor in Minnesota asked the judge to dismiss the case. That case, as of this morning, has been dismissed permanently, meaning that they can't bring back these charges.
ABC's Armando Garcia. Congress has left town without an agreement to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats want ICE reforms, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republicans aren't willing to negotiate.
I'm here, ready, willing, and able to have a conversation with anyone, anytime, any place. That's always been the Democratic posture. Mike Johnson has once again sent House Republicans home.
With another aircraft carrier headed to the Middle East, President Trump today asked,
"Do you want regime change in Iran?" Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
Inflation cooling down more than expected in January. The Consumer Price Index showing inflation increased just 2% month over month and 2.4% year over year. In the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos says investigators have recovered several gloves near Guthrie's home, but
there's never been a glove found on that crime scene or at that crime scene. I don't know where that comes from. But we did find a glove some 2 miles away. And that was done because we expanded our search area.
You're listening to ABC News.
Winter Games Trivia on Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News. Brought to you by America First Credit Union.
Here's your chance to win a Winter Games swag bag. Just go to ksl.com/win and answer today's question, 1 winner per day. And congratulations, yesterday's winner, Keith Sassy from Clinton. Your question today, what is the last name of the U.S. short track speed skater who won 8 Olympic medals? Quick, go to ksl.com/win and enter and watch the men's free skate coverage from 7 to 10 p.m. on KSL TV tonight. Good luck, everybody. Winter Games Trivia is brought to you by America First Credit Union. America First can help you reach any financial goal faster, so become a member at americafirst.com today. KSL News Time 5:19. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. So, Mark, what's going on?
Well, this dump truck is stalled in the center lane of I-15 northbound, just about 5300, 5400 south. Incident management is pulled up on the scene now, and traffic's merging over to the right lanes to try and get by. But already we've got backups back into the Midvale area. Now, if you're headed southbound on I-15, that's just about where those slowdowns begin, about 47 south, and they'll continue slower than normal to the end of the Salt Lake Valley here. Davis County remains really clear. The only slowdowns really that I can see out of Ogden from 31st Street back towards the Roy area. Eric.
Still got 2 major spots of southbound slowdowns in Utah County. The first one is from Thanksgiving Point. That's very slow all the way down to the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. Then you've got a stretch where it's not too bad approaching Spanish Fork. Then the slowdowns start up again going through Spanish Fork, heading down to where we had a crash earlier in Payson, a little bit out of town from Payson going down to Santa Quin. That's where the delays will finally stop, and you'll get back up to normal freeway speeds. Get BOGO tickets now for the ultimate romantic date night. Choose Chicago Nights or Romeo and Juliet, April 6th through the 11th. Visit odysseydance.com for tickets, discounts, and details. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts with a pretty nice weekend. Partly cloudy skies above normal temperatures. On Saturday, we'll hit 53 in Salt Lake, 64 in St. George. Upper 50s with winds picking up on Sunday, stronger winds, and 61 degrees on Monday under mostly cloudy skies. That's the warm before the storm. Valley rain and mountain snow move in Tuesday. Valley rain changes over to snow Wednesday with a lingering chance for showers into Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubanks.
46 degrees, your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And this is nice. For the first time, we're hearing from the newest member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. KSL News Radio's Adam Small sat down with Elder Clark G. Gilbert.
Elder Gilbert called the last 72 hours overwhelming but also amazing. He told me it all started Wednesday at the conclusion of a church education meeting when he was about to walk out the door, but Church President Dallin H. Oaks stopped him.
He said, "Would you come to my office?" And he waved me over, and I followed him in, and he extended the call, and it was overwhelming when I heard those words come out from his mouth.
He says his wife, Christine, and his 8 children have been incredibly supportive since he got the call, all of them knowing the call to be an apostle is for life. And even though his service has just begun, I asked Elder Gilbert how he would want to be remembered.
That I would do my very best to do what the Lord tells me to do. And let any consequence come what may, that I would act on that.
Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 5:22.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Focused on sustainable packaging, Mondi offers a uniquely broad and diverse range of innovative paper and packaging products. These solutions are designed to help the planet and significantly reduce waste caused by poor packaging practices. Production manager Richard Gatton joins us with more.
Mondi is a global leader in packaging and paper, contributing to a better world by making innovative solutions that are sustainable by design. With 24,000 employees across more than 30 countries, we're united by a shared purpose, a consistent long-term strategy, and strong values that guide everything we do. At our Salt Lake City location, we've been part of the community since 1958. We take pride in being a trusted local partner and an employer of choice, committed to supporting the people and the neighborhoods we serve. In 2026, we're continuing to grow and are actively hiring. You can apply online on the Mondi North America career page. We offer a supportive work environment that empowers team members to succeed, collaborate, and make an impact every day. Our training opportunities are designed to develop leadership and build new valuable skills. Apply today for a new career with purpose.
Mondi's sustainable packaging helps Utah businesses reduce waste. With hiring opportunities available, it's a great way to start a career making a real local impact. Learn more at northamerica.mondigroup.com. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
Right now, UCCU is offering short-term savings options with incredibly high yields. Simply make a deposit, then watch your savings grow with a fixed rate of return that's much higher than a savings account. UCCU also has great offers on jump-up options. So if rates continue to rise, you can jump up your rate and earn even more. Visit uccu.com to learn more and supercharge your savings today. UCCU. Love where you bank.
I'm Walker Kessler, and I play basketball for a living. So I know how important it is to have the support of a team you can trust. That's why I love UCCU. UCCU is more than a credit union. They're a true financial partner, a local team of experts your entire family can trust at every step of your financial journey. Just visit uccu.com and elevate your banking experience.
With affordable tuition, personal support, and career services, Salt Lake Community College is empowering students to shape Utah's future.
I'm an occupational therapy practitioner.
I'm an electrical engineer.
And I'm in comms, PR, and marketing.
And I'm a Salt Lake Community College alum.
A better Utah starts with a better education. SLCC provides opportunities to students who become alumni that shape Utah's future. See how we're investing in Utah's future at slcc.edu/community.
People think saving money is hard, but really, it's easy. It's as simple as changing a few spending habits. For free tips on how to save the easy way, check out feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
We're watching Utah's Money. CNBC reports 3 NBA teams are worth $10 billion. The Lakers, Knicks, and Warriors all top $10 billion at the All-Star break. The Jazz are in 20th place. They're worth $4.35 billion. Imagine if they were winning. Maybe inflation is finally coming under control. This morning's Consumer Price Index shows the inflation rate is down to a surprising 2.4%. Groceries, though, were up 2.9%. And if you go out for food, the inflation rate for restaurants is a lot higher at 4%. On Wall Street today, the Dow is up 48 points at 49,500. The S&P was up 3 and the Nasdaq was down 50. And just in time for tomorrow, there's new research about dark chocolate.
Numerous studies show it's good for your heart.
Decrease in blood pressure, decrease in LDL bad cholesterol, improvement in blood sugar, prevention of clotting.
But ABC Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula says dark chocolate can be good for other things, too.
Improvement in brain health and also protection of the skin from sun damage. And not surprisingly, improved mood from decreasing stress hormones like cortisol.
Dark chocolate that's at least 70% cocoa is full of flavanols that decrease inflammation and prevent cell damage. One caveat, make sure it doesn't have a long list of ingredients, especially added sugar. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. You know I love to shop at NPS, but we have made this kind of a family event now. When we have our grandkids, we go to NPS. They love it, and it's so much fun to buy affordable things for them and great treats, some of which they have never seen before, because as I mentioned, shopping at NPS is an absolute treasure hunt. You never know what's going to be on the shelves. You never know what kind of bargains you're going to find. Each and every day, they are 20 to 70% off. But then you find savings, believe it or not, above and beyond even that. And with Valentine's Day just around the corner, NPS is the perfect place to shop for your Valentine. Chocolates, candy, flowers, special gifts, jewelry, purses. You'll be amazed at what you're going to find at any of the 4 locations of NPS. 2 in Salt Lake, 1 in Layton, and of course in Orem. NPS.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Here in the Salt Lake Valley, UHP and Incident Management taking care of this stalled semi and an additional accident off to the left-hand side at 5300 South. All traffic being pushed to the right. Now, they are going to stop traffic here in a couple of minutes and try and get both of those vehicles over to the right, at least off the freeway flow. Right now, backups into Midvale. Eric.
Still got some slowing southbound 15 in Utah County through Payson, where we had a crash earlier before the 800 South exit, about a mile before. And then you've still got these southbound slowdowns, pretty persistent and very slow, from Lehigh all the way down to Linden. Traffic's rough, but your parking lot doesn't have to be. GoPave Utah keeps things smooth with expert asphalt maintenance at GoPaveUtah.com. That's GoPaveUtah.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the weekend is here and temperatures are going to climb. Today we're in the 40s with a few scattered rain showers still hanging around. Partly cloudy and 53 on Saturday, mostly cloudy 57 on Sunday. We'll jump into the low 60s on Monday ahead of a storm that will bring valley rain mixing over to snow for Tuesday, Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
46 in Ogden, 47 degrees in Provo and St. George. As we head towards sunset, it's 60 degrees even.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good evening. It's 5:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. It's 46 degrees. KSL's top story. BYU wide receiver Parker Kingston will be released from jail soon as he posts $100,000 bail. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott with the latest.
Kingston was charged with felony rape earlier this week. He appeared for his first court hearing today from the Purgatory Correctional Facility in Washington County. The judge had previously ruled to hold him without bail, but the state agreed to his release with a few conditions.
We would ask for no contact, obviously, with this alleged victim. That includes any third-party contact. No contact with any of her roommates or possible witnesses.
The state also requested Kingston wear a GPS ankle monitor and stay off social media. Kingston's next court appearance is set for February 25th. Claire Scott, KSL News Radio.
A Utah man is in custody after police say he injured a parole officer during an escape attempt. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott with the story.
According to police documents, 43-year-old Sergio Lopez Ramirez was being transported to the Salt Lake County Jail when he kicked the rear window of the car, shattering the glass and throwing a piece of shrapnel into a parole agent's eye. The agent suffered a cut on his cornea. Police say this is not the first time Lopez has injured a police officer. In 2015, officers were trying to arrest him on the roof of a West Valley City strip mall when one of them fell 10 feet and sustained minor injuries.
Ramirez has been charged with aggravated assault and a host of other felonies. Ring has dropped its planned partnership with Flock Safety. That's the technology that could have made it easier for agencies like ICE to access footage from your doorbell camera. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson explains why the change.
Ring ran a Super Bowl commercial promoting their search party technology that uses cameras in the community to find lost pets. And even though Flock and Search Party are not the same, Brandon Amaker, director of the Emerging Tech Policy Lab at Utah Valley University, says it ended up raising people's concerns about how their private recordings might be used.
There are often, news stories or political events that will really kind of change where people's comfort level lies on that spectrum between security and privacy.
Amaker explains that with or without Flock, police would still need to ask homeowners for their permission for the videos or get a warrant. Flock would have just made it easier to request it and would have created a sort of community dashboard. However, Flock was never implemented. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 5:33. Our top national story, Homeland Security has requested information from several social media platforms. They want information about accounts that speak poorly about ICE. The New York Times reports hundreds of subpoenas have been sent to companies like Google, Reddit, Meta, and others over several months. The emails ask for the IDs of people behind these accounts, their email addresses, their phone numbers. It's unclear if the companies supplied DHS with this information. 13 days after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, a turf war appears to be breaking out between the local sheriff and the FBI, which wants to see some physical evidence that the sheriff doesn't want to give them. Criminologist Dr. Laura Petler says this is pretty common, but she thinks the FBI should be taking the lead here.
Because they are the ones with the experience, the technology, and the equipment and the personnel to be able to handle this appropriately, as opposed to a local agency, which is more of a generalist type agency.
The sheriff's office has been sending evidence to a private company in Florida for analysis instead of FBI headquarters for analysis. President Trump was asked about the search for Savannah Guthrie's mom. He didn't have much to offer today.
Somebody either knew what they were doing very well or they were rank amateurs. Either way, it's not a good situation.
It was the president who sent the FBI to work on the Guthrie case. And we had a pleasant surprise this morning. The inflation rate is now down to 2.4%. But not at the grocery store.
We did see grocery prices go up again last month, but not quite as much, so that's also good news. Other major services, so electricity bills, utility bills are one place we are still seeing prices go up a lot. Medical care, child care, those are also still going up faster than overall inflation.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze, groceries last month were up on an annualized rate of 2.9%. The Utah Jazz are being fined after pulling two players from the court in the fourth quarter of close games. Utah Jazz insider Ben Anderson says it's the first time the NBA has fined a team for allegedly tanking despite winning one of the games.
We're talking about wins and losses, and you're fining a team for winning a game. You're turning this into a TV show because what you're saying is we actually just want to see the right faces on the floor, not the competition.
This was no ordinary fine. The $500,000 fine is for benching Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen in games against the Orlando Magic and Miami Heat that were close in the fourth quarter. The NBA says behavior that prioritizes draft position over winning undermines the foundation of NBA competition. Lindsey Vonn says she's going to have to undergo a fourth surgery on her broken leg. Vonn posted a video on Instagram from her hospital bed today.
It's been quite a hard few days in the hospital here. I'm finally feeling more like myself.
Vonn says her next surgery is tomorrow and a fifth will come later on. KSL News Time 5:36. First look traffic now. Mark Christiansen, what's the deal?
Well, new accident northbound I-15. This one just after the Lehigh 92 on-ramp, headed up over towards the top of the point of the mountain, taking up the two left lanes at the moment. They've moved all vehicles off to the left-hand side there, still cleaning up some debris. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
And my minute's on the way next.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through March 22nd, switch to Comcast Business and get started with 150 megabit internet plus Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or ask how to lock in your rate for 5 years on a qualifying internet bundle and get a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. For a limited time only. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
If you've ever experienced running out of hot water before your shower was done, or hard water spots on dishes and fixtures, I've got a deal you might be interested in. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and you probably already know that a tankless water heater and a water softener solve both issues. If you've ever thought about looking into getting a tankless water heater, here's the deal I was talking about. Through the end of February, we're including a free water softener with every new tankless water heater we install. The best part of this deal might be that you never have to worry about being the last one to the shower again, or that you don't have to waste the money keeping 40 to 50 gallons of water hot 24/7. To take advantage of this deal, call Any Hour Services before the end of February. The visit's free and there's no obligation to buy. If you decide to have us install a new tankless water heater, we'll throw in the water softener for free. That's right, a free water softener when you purchase a tankless water heater. Pick up the phone and call Any Hour Services right now for all the details. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. My son might be one of the busiest people on earth. Benj is starting a new job on Monday. He has twin baby girls on the way in April. He's extremely active in his community, and yesterday he texted me, "Are you watching the match?" And I'm like, "What match? I have no idea." So what's he talking? "What match, Benj?" He texts back, "Curling." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You still haven't figured out which super stroller I need to buy for the twins. You have to paint the nursery. Rose is perfectly percolating those precious little granddaughters at the speed of light. This is happening. Son, you're almost a dad and you're watching curling? I don't get it." But a lot of people are watching what might be the most boring, low-energy sport in existence. Every 4 years, people get obsessed about this slippery, slow-motion version of shuffleboard. Curling may be the least athletic sport this side of playing paper football on a restaurant table, but to bond with my son, soon to be a dad, yesterday I did the deep dive on curling, and the first thing I found was this grainy black and white video from the 1972 Curling Championship.
This is Melischuk's last stone. He must count 2 for the tie.
One of the guys, as he sweeps, has a cigarette dangling from his lips, another one's holding a beer, and this is the World Championship. Now in Milan, one of the guys on Team USA is 54 years old.
I really appreciate these guys giving me that chance, and I love them.
That's Rich Ruhonen, a 54-year-old personal injury lawyer who has to wear a T-shirt that says, "I'm not the coach." Point of reference, Lindsey Vonn is 41. This lawyer is 13 years older, and if he can curl in between lawsuits against insurance companies, anybody can do it. And maybe that's the appeal. So, darling son, enjoy your curling, because I know 2 reasons you're not going to be watching it at the next Olympic Games. No, you won't.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
This new northbound I-15 accident in Lehigh, as you pass the 92 on-ramp, you'll find the very slow traffic in place leading up towards the top of the point of the mountain. They've moved off to the left-hand side, still taking up the HOV lane. Traffic in Salt Lake County here starting to get back to normal after a dump truck stalled through Murray. That traffic northbound is moving right along. You'll be a little bit slow as you approach the downtown area. Southbound I-15, boy, just about freeway speeds now from Murray all the way towards the end of the Salt Lake Valley. And Davis and Weber County in great condition, about a 20-25 minute drive from downtown to Ogden. Eric.
Trying to get out of Utah County, going out to Juab County. I-15 delays continue between Spanish Fork and Payson, although these are thinning out. What is still happening is still much slower than anybody's used to this time of the afternoon. The Payson slowdowns are largely a result of a crash that happened earlier, just about a mile before 800 South. That was blocking a left lane. Now, further back, we've still got southbound slowdowns, and these are even worse, going from Timpanogos Highway, very slow, all the way past Lehigh's Main Street Pioneer Crossing down to 500 East in American Fork. Are you tired of dealing with missing teeth? Are you ready to ditch the dentures? The experts at Stubbs Dental can change your life with dental implants. Get started at StubbsDental.com today. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the temperatures are going to climb for the weekend. Our normal this time of year is 44. Today, we've been in the upper 40s and we're headed into the low 50s. 53 and partly cloudy on Saturday. How about upper 50s and mostly cloudy Sunday? We'll get some south wind on Monday and go to 61 degrees ahead of a storm that'll move in Tuesday, bringing valley rain mixing with snow. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
We're at 46 in Salt Lake City. No spoiler here, but seriously, the thrills and spills in men's figure skating are worth watching on TV tonight. I'm just saying. Meantime, we're streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. 542, welcome to Friday night.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. I had $1 million, but I'd spend it all if I could find that Hannah in that Sancho that she's found. Well, I'd pop a cap inside.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today.
KSL News Time 5:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
we're hearing from Elder Clark G. Gilbert, the newest member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for the first time since he was called to be an apostle earlier this week. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, 3 murder charges were filed today against the driver accused of leaving 3 men with disabilities in his van for 4.5 hours. They died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
If you're northbound I-15 from Lehigh to the top of the point of the mountain due to an accident, you've got some really heavy traffic through the area there. And northbound I-15 still remains heavy here in the Salt Lake Valley from 94th south, leading into the Midvale-Murray area. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, some morning showers gave way to some afternoon sunshine, and temperatures will be in the 50s for the weekend. I'm Kevin Eubank.
46 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. Top ICE officials now saying 2 of its agents are on administrative leave after allegedly lying under oath about a non-fatal shooting in Minneapolis last month. This comes as a federal prosecutor is asking a judge to dismiss charges against 2 migrants accused of allegedly attacking one of the ICE officers in this case. Congress has left town without an agreement to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats want ICE reforms, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republicans are not willing to negotiate.
I'm here, ready, willing, and able to have a conversation with anyone, anytime, any place. That's always been the Democratic posture. Mike Johnson has once again sent House Republicans home.
Inflation cooling down more than expected in January. The Consumer Price Index shows inflation increased just 0.2% month over month and 2.4% year over year. This is ABC News.
KSL News Time 5:47. A South Weber family faced a frightening reality when their newborn arrived with an extremely rare and life-threatening birth defect. The parents went on a cross-country journey to get him the specialized care he needed, and KSL TV's Emma Benson has the story.
When Nash's child came into the world in September, what should have been a joyful moment quickly turned into a medical emergency.
We were like, he's not going to make it.
Before delivery, Megan Child says she stopped feeling him move, prompting doctors to perform an emergency C-section.
He was blue and not breathing. He coded right there afterwards.
After running tests, doctors diagnosed an overinflated left lung.
He couldn't breathe. He kept aspirating.
It wasn't until later after bronchoscopy that they discovered the underlying cause, a stage 4 laryngeal cleft, an extremely rare birth defect where the windpipe doesn't fully separate from the esophagus.
And they told us it was a type 4, the worst it can be.
Colby and Megan were originally told their baby needed to weigh 8 pounds before surgery could be considered. Nash was barely over 4.
So we were looking at 3 months out to even go to a surgery, and he was living minute by minute, hour by hour.
Determined not to wait, the parents began researching options, looking beyond Utah for surgeons experienced in this rare condition.
It's okay to do your own research. It's okay to look for other options to give your child the best chance possible.
They found a pediatric specialist in Florida who performs these stage 4 cleft repairs. After more than a month in hospitals, the family made the trip in late October, staying 5 weeks for surgery and recovery.
All the nurses were just so cautious of his situation, and they'd seen it before and they knew what was going on.
Today, 4-month-old Nash is thriving. The road ahead may include more challenges, but the progress so far has given the family hope.
And it's amazing to see how far he's come.
A reminder, the lengths parents will go to explore every available option for their child.
Good job.
Emma Benson, KSL 5 News.
KSL News Time 5:49. We have traffic and weather together. Brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Well, I'm thinking most of this slow traffic northbound I-15 through the Salt Lake Valley, which does start just about 90th south and then continues back towards the south interchanges from that earlier accident near 53rd south, clearing out Going to take a closer look at that, though. It does look more confined to the 90th South area there. Other than that, southbound I-15 is in really great shape through the Salt Lake Valley. You do have some less than freeway speed spots leading from Murray through the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. Now, if you're trying to make your way from Lehigh, about 2100 north in Lehigh to the top of the point of the mountain, that's going to be a bit crowded due to an accident off to the left side towards the top of the point. Eric?
Other direction in Utah County, southbound major slowdowns from Timpanogos Highway all the way down to Pleasant Grove Boulevard, and you've got some typical slowdowns over on Pioneer Crossing trying to get over to the Saratoga Road and into Saratoga Springs eventually. Southbound 15, let's get back to that. You got major slowdowns as well as you go from Springville into Spanish Fork, and reduced speeds now from Benjamin down to Payson, where we had a crash earlier that has been cleared, but the residual delays are very slow to clear. Looking for the best Valentine's gift ever? Exclusive Valentine's blankets only available at Minky Couture. Use code KSL50 online and in stores to receive 50% off your purchase. Visit minkycouture.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
The weekend is here and temperatures are going to climb. How about 53 degrees and partly cloudy skies for our Valentine's Day? 57 and mostly cloudy on Sunday with some south winds picking up, and then stronger winds for President's Day Monday, 61 for the high, near record-breaking in Salt Lake. All of that coming ahead of a cold front that'll bring in valley rain and mountain snow on Tuesday. Colder air moves in Wednesday, dropping the snow levels to the benches and the valley floors. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
46 degrees, your 7-day forecast, brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And yeah, he said snow. Snow next Wednesday, Thursday, an inch or two on the valley floor.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
You're unbelievable.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
This is Andy Farnsworth with One Kind Act a Day's Minute of Kindness, brought to you by the Semnani Family Foundation. The SEG Foundation is hoping Utah's Pay It Forward Day becomes a lasting tradition rooted in kindness. Co-founded by Ashley Smith, the foundation launched the day to encourage Utahns to brighten someone else's life through unexpected acts of generosity. From paying for groceries and gas, to holding doors or writing notes, or even offering just a genuine compliment. The movement is a reminder that kindness doesn't have to be complicated or costly. As Ashley Smith puts it, kindness is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The goal isn't recognition, it's connection. When we look outside ourselves and choose kindness, we make our communities stronger and our days a little brighter. What kind acts can you do today to spread the joy of kindness to your community? Find out more at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal, then you see the price and lose it because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
We're watching Utah's money. You know who's paying for these tariffs? You. Americans are paying a whopping 90% of the tariffs through price increases. That's according to a report from the New York Federal Reserve. This finding is contrary to the White House comments that foreigners pay most of the levies. Nike has reintroduced all conditions gear, their outdoor brand, this year, just in time for the Winter Games. The resurgence of the brand shows Nike's pivot from lifestyle looks to actual functional performance. On Wall Street today, mixed market. The Dow was up 48 points, still didn't make it back to 50,000, closing at 49,500. The S&P was up 3 points, but the Nasdaq fell 50. It's time for Cougar Tracks, brought to you by Advanced Window Products, high-quality, affordable replacement windows. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball will take on the Colorado Buffaloes tomorrow at the Marriott Center. Maybe the bigger story is the celebration of BYU legend Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer will have his jersey retired in the rafters at the Marriott Center, joining the likes of BYU greats Danny Ainge, Kresimir Kosic, Mel Hutchins, and Roland Minson. Jimmer's head coach at BYU, Dave Rose, on what made Jimmer special.
And a lot of it obviously is because he was a great talent and spent so much time, perfecting his craft. But Jimmer was able to be Jimmer because of the person that he was, because those guys on the team wanted Jimmer to be good.
To listen to my entire interview with former BYU head coach Dave Rose, tune into Extended Pregame for BYU Colorado beginning at noon right here on KSL. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
What's up, Utah? This is Jimmer Fredette. Back in the day, Jimmer Mania was all about making big shots. Now it's time for Window Mania. Get $2,500 off when you buy 10 windows or more from Advanced Window Products. Call them today at 801-850-9100. If your old drafty windows are a turnover, costing you money every month, it's time for a game changer. These guys are the home team. They're a local, family-owned company that manufactures their windows right here in Salt Lake City. They're built by Utah for our crazy Utah climate. When you buy from Advanced Window Products, you're buying factory direct. No middleman. That's how you score a winning deal. Their windows are tough on defense, blocking out the heat and the cold, which saves you serious money on your energy bills. And here's the slam dunk. Their lifetime warranty, which even covers accidental glass breakage, that's peace of mind you can't get from the other guys. Get in on Window Mania and tell them Jimmer sent you. Call 801-850-9100 or advancedwindows.com.
Are you on the hunt for your next big hunt? Then head to huntexpo.com because that's where it starts. The Hunting Expo is coming to Salt Lake City February 12th to 15th. It's the biggest hunting show in the West. There's hundreds of guides, outfitters, and exhibitors from all over the world. Plus your shot at Utah's top 200 elk, deer, and other hunting permits in the Expo tag drawing. Book your next hunt. See the latest gear and apply for Utah's biggest bucks and bulls for just $5 each. Your next hunt starts at the Hunting Expo and huntexpo.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Mark, what's going on?
Well, Jeff, it looks like those delays I was seeing northbound I-15 through the Salt Lake Valley here are from that earlier accident in Murray, just stacked up behind there, and they're starting to move out now, but it's still less than freeway speeds on I-15 from 90th south leading into Murray area, and headed back the other direction, just about 5,500 south back towards Sandy, going to be slow as well. Eric.
At southbound slowdowns and major ones in Utah County. It starts just past Point of the Mountain. It really gets slow as you go past Timpanogos Highway, and it's going to stay that way until you get down to about Pleasant Grove Boulevard. This is a difficult getaway if you're trying to get out of town because even further south, you've got continued slowdowns from south of Benjamin as you head through Paceman down towards Santa Quin. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Traffic and weather together on the 9s, clear and down to 31 overnight. For tomorrow, Valentine's Day, partly cloudy. You're going to love 52 degrees. And then Sunday, clouds up to 56. Snow on the valley floor. It's possible come Wednesday.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Sunset in Salt Lake City, 6 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. 46 degrees, KSL's top story. A West Valley City man has now been charged with murder after police say he left 3 men with special needs in a running van for hours. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson with the latest details.
The men died from carbon monoxide poisoning last Friday.
They are left unattended with the vehicle running and did it for an extended period of time.
Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill says 25-year-old Isaiah Pulu was the hired caregiver who was supposed to be taking them on an outing, but instead he told investigators he took them to his apartment and left them in the van in the garage while he went upstairs to eat and watch anime. Gill says he didn't check on them for more than 4.5 hours, even as carbon monoxide alarms blared in the complex.
Those alarms were going off, and in the upstairs apartment over the garage, it was 600 parts per million. What the data shows is that 200 parts per million can cause death and be fatal.
And this wasn't the first time he'd left clients alone. Pulu had been reprimanded at work 1 month before for doing the same thing. That's why Gill says this case warranted 3 murder charges. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
The difference between a murder charge and a manslaughter charge is intention. However, KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas says this case is a little different.
We don't often see a murder charge based on this grave indifference standard. It's rarely charged because typically prosecutors will fall back to the reckless standard, which is manslaughter. But with 3 deaths and with the prior warnings and his history, I think Sim Gill is probably justified in taking it a step further and charging it as a murder.
Greg says that Isaiah Pulu faces life in prison if he's convicted. A Utah school bus driver has been arrested accused of distributing images of children being sexually abused. A school bus driver. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson with details.
Investigators got a tip from a social media company about an account they determined was uploading and downloading images of children being sexually abused. Court documents say they tracked the account to Casey Golding, who until this week was a school bus driver for the Granite District. The district says they found out about the allegations Thursday afternoon, and the employee no longer works for them. They also pointed out he did pass all background checks when he was hired last October, and there is no indication that any kids in the district were victims. Randall Jepson, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 6:03. Our top national story, Congress has left D.C. for the weekend with no idea how to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
It's all but guaranteeing that DHS will run out of funding before that deadline tonight because there won't be a deal made. Now, the question is what would happen next? If DHS is shut down, the expectation is that most of the employees of the agency will continue working, but without pay. So that is something to look at, too, over the coming days and weeks if this plays out for a long time.
Senate Democrats want to see more restrictions on ICE, for instance, no more masks. The partial shutdown will impact the TSA, FEMA, cybersecurity. It will not, however, impact ICE. KSL News Time 6:03, former CNN host Don Lemon has pleaded not guilty to federal civil rights charges in Minnesota. Lemon was arrested in January for his coverage of an anti-ICE protest that interrupted a church service. 4 others pleaded not guilty in the same case this afternoon. KSL News Time 6:04. The U.S. is sending another massive aircraft carrier to the Middle East. The message, negotiate, Iran, or don't.
This is all basically designed to put pressure on Iran to come to the negotiating table. There have already been one round of talks between U.S. officials and Iran in Oman, but to make the kind of concessions that the United States wants, but also Israel.
ABC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pinnell. KSL News Time 6:04. KSL Sports Jimmer Fredette's jersey will be retired tomorrow during BYU's basketball game against Colorado. KSL BYU insider Mitch Harper says Jimmer has remained so memorable for fans, even though it's been 15 years since he played for the Cougs.
He was a nice guy on and off the court, and he just put up
big numbers every single night. He led BYU to the Sweet 16. They're farthest they went in the NCAA tournament in 30 years at the time, and won the National Player of the Year.
A replica Jimmer jersey will go up into the rafters at the Marriott Center tomorrow, and you can catch all the action right here on KSL News Radio. Our pregame begins at 12 noon with Cougar Sports Saturday. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. 3 teens are accused of breaking into and vandalizing a church in Springville.
The Springville Police Department says the teens broke into a meeting house on 1200 West, 900 South, smoked marijuana, and made a mess with water bottles and hymn books. That's not all. Police say they left a biohazard situation on the carpet and pulpit. Police believe those same teens are responsible for an assault at a McDonald's nearby, where a 12-year-old boy was punched in the face.
Anyone with information about these teens is encouraged to contact the Springville Police Department. KSL News Time 6:06. We have first look traffic. Mark, are things getting better?
Well, if you're trying to get out of town, it's still going to be a tight squeeze through Utah County with slow traffic, mainly beyond Provo and through the Santaquin area, and then further beyond that, because all that traffic is kind of holding together as you continue further southbound. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
And my minute is on the way next. Stay here.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,026 off a new furnace and air conditioner. And you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,026 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,026 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. I have a little radio trade secret for you. Every male radio announcer on earth wishes his voice was deeper. The gold standard for deep voice announcers was the late Don LaFontaine. You do know his voice. For decades, he was the guy in the movie trailers who always said, "In a world."
In a world that's powered by violence. In a world in the year 2000.
But in a world where there's no Don LaFontaine anymore, the world's deepest voice is a guy named Tim. Tim Storms is 48 years old. To picture him, he has a shaved head, a wisp of a beard, average-sized guy, but his voice makes walls vibrate.
I got a wall. Got
He's in the Guinness Book of Records for world's deepest voice. Tim Storms could say, "Honey, get me a cup of coffee," and the mug would fall off the counter by itself. But he doesn't use this gift for commercials or movie trailers. Tim uses this gift to sing Christian music, like you're listening to now. This is the part that blows my mind. Sometimes he sings, but you'll never hear it. Tim Storms can hit an infrasonic note so low that it can't be detected by the human ear.
Kind of hear him in my head as far as the sound my vocal cords are making. But as far as the frequencies, it's something more or less that I feel.
You can't hear his best note. He only feels the sound. So he probably wouldn't work very well for radio after all, because Tim Storm's best work, his lowest note, can only be detected by elephants.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together. That's how I feel. Traffic and weather together. Brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Got some slow traffic through the downtown area. This starts just about 33rd South, and then it's just slow into downtown at the off-ramps there. You get past that, traffic's wide open and moving probably better than freeway speeds all the way through Davis County. Even those slowdowns coming off the curve at 31st Street in Ogden leading down towards Roy, those are pretty well cleared out, and your southbound travels back towards Salt Lake are looking very good. Through the Salt Lake Valley, some slowdowns southbound towards the point of the mountain, but that's about it. And that northbound delay due to an accident from Lehigh 92 on-ramp leading up towards the top of the point. That's pretty crowded through the area there. Eric?
Speaking of crowded, southbound I-15 from Lehigh down to Linden is also slow. The slowest spot will be from Timpanogos Highway all the way down to about 500 Eastern American Fork. Of course, that's a long stretch for you to be in slow down mode. Now, once you get past that, things start looking up a little bit more. We've still got some delays southbound 15 between Springville and Spanish Fork, and then between Payson and Santaquin. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Temperatures climb for the weekend back into the 50s with a mix of clouds and sun. We'll see some wind pick up Sunday and Monday ahead of our next storm that will arrive Tuesday. Monday afternoon, low 60s along the Wasatch Front, then we'll crash into the 40s with valley rain mixing with snow on Tuesday and Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
45 degrees in Salt Lake City, and we're streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. You can listen on your phone. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. So last weekend on Super Bowl Sunday, did you remember your vow to lose weight this year? I mean, you valiantly started a diet, and if everything fell apart in a sea of 7-layer dip over the weekend, Salt Lake City Fat Loss is going to give you a do-over. I am very comfortable recommending SLC Fat Loss because I lost 32 pounds in 6 short weeks. I've kept the weight off for 6 long months, and right now, they're going to give you $200 off to help get you back on track. So what is this diet? Well, SLC Fat Loss is a doctor-developed, all-natural diet that speeds up your metabolism and helps you lose up to a pound of fat a day. No weight loss injections, no side effects, and no workouts. You don't have to buy any prepackaged meals. On their special app, live counselors guide you, and a lot of people lose a pound a day. Find out more at slcfatloss.com. Book a 15-minute appointment on the phone and get $200 off. It's time to lose the weight. I did. I feel great, and you can too. slcfatloss.com.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness.
Valentine's Day is a moment to pause and celebrate the love that fills your life.
Duke's Jewelers in Springville believes every love story deserves something timeless, something chosen with intention and given from the heart. This Valentine's season, explore pieces that speak without a single word. Dazzling diamonds that catch the light, rich gold that feels classic and enduring, and colorful gemstones that tell a story all their own. Whether you're marking a first Valentine's together, honoring decades of devotion, or simply wanting to make someone feel cherished, Duke's Jewelers is here to help you find the perfect piece. Duke's Jewelers will guide you with care, offer thoughtful suggestions, and even wrap your gift beautifully so you can enjoy the moment, not stress over it. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Springville Main Street and discover a gift that will be treasured long after February 14th is passed. Because love is worth celebrating in the most meaningful way. Duke's Jewelers. Love elevated.
KSL News Time, 6:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
3 murder charges filed today against the West Valley City man accused of leaving 3 men with disabilities in a running van unsupervised. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning after being left in the garage for 4.5 hours. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
second, Congress has gone home for recess, leaving Homeland Security unfunded, which means there's going to be a partial government shutdown this weekend. More from ABC in just a moment. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Yeah, it looks like Lehigh, trying to get out of Lehigh from about 2100 north, leading up towards that accident at the top of the point, off the left-hand side. However, traffic's still slowing to go by. Mark Christiansen in the KSL Traffic Center.
A few scattered showers continue today, but we're looking at partly cloudy skies and temperatures back in the 50s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
It's 45 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now, our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Congress went home without a deal to fund the Department of Homeland Security, which runs out of money at midnight. Democrats want reforms to ICE and say Republicans aren't offering them. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
The White House gave Democrats a proposal earlier this week that Democrats rejected out of hand. And we know that Democrats in the Senate are going to send their updated proposal back to the White House sometime this weekend.
2 ICE agents now under criminal investigation accused of lying about shooting a man during the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis.
The official narrative of that shooting collapsing. Those agents placed on administrative leave and prosecutors now dropping all charges against the men. In a statement, the family's attorney saying they're overjoyed, adding the charges against them were based on lies by an ICE agent who recklessly shot into their home through a closed door.
ABC's Alex Perez. A U.S. carrier strike group moving from the Caribbean to the Middle East.
President Trump said the USS Gerald Ford will be leaving, quote, very soon to travel toward the Middle East. Another move to put pressure on Iran as talks continue over its nuclear program. Asked why he's sending a second aircraft carrier to the region, the president told reporters,
well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it. If we don't have a deal, we'll need it.
The president said he thinks talks with Iran will be successful, but if they aren't, he again indicated there could be potential U.S. military action. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
In Arizona, the search for Nancy Guthrie has been going on for nearly 2 weeks. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos.
You know, we got 400 cops out there working this case. They're tracking down everything and anything.
An au pair from Brazil sentenced in Virginia to 10 years in prison for assisting in a double murder plot with her former boss, Brendan Banfield. Julia Perez Magalhães confessed to an affair with Banfield in the months leading up to the killings of his wife and another man. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time, 6:18. The bill to give married people tax breaks has passed in a state house committee. Now it's waiting to be heard by the full House.
Right now, if 2 different households both earn $65,000 a year, the one with the single parent doesn't have to pay as many taxes and qualifies for some assistance programs that the 2-parent household doesn't. So many people are opting to stay single because being married brings some financial disadvantages. Representative Melissa Garf-Ballard says her new bill aims to treat everyone equally.
This simplifies the tax code, creates a flat tax credit benefiting the middle income married households so that they are not exponentially paying more than their single counterpart.
Billy Hesterman with the Utah Taxpayers Association says evening the playing field could mean that single filer taxes could increase, but most likely not by too much. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 6:19. We have traffic and weather together. We do it every 10 minutes on the 9s. We're brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Mark Christiansen has the details on your trip.
Oh, we still got about 7 or 8 vehicles off to the left-hand side towards the top of the point of the mountain. If you're northbound I-15 in Utah County headed for Salt Lake, that's keeping things slow mostly now for folks just slowing down to see what's going on as traffic in all other lanes is moving through the area there. You're backed up just before 2100 North. You'll see those slow traffic signs. In Salt Lake Valley here, north and southbound I-15 looks really good. 215 is in great shape. Eastbound 80 through Parley's and beyond or into the Heber area on Highway 40 in great shape. Eric.
Well, we've still got major slowdown southbound I-15 in Utah County. It starts you'll see the brake tapping before you get to Timpanogos Highway, and then it's going to be really slow from Triumph Boulevard all the way down to just short of 500 East in American Fork. So at least at the tail end of this thing start to improve. And then you still got some southbound slowing between 400 South in Springville and Highway 6 in Spanish Fork, and just a couple of spots of brake tapping going through Payson en route to Santa Quin. Thirsty for better water? Culligan has you covered. From softeners and filtration to bottle-free coolers and bottled water delivery. Trusted local experts make water taste amazing. Visit CulliganSLC.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts with a pretty nice weekend, but then a strong storm coming through midweek. Tonight, 31 for the low, 53 partly cloudy for our Valentine's Day. Mostly cloudy, 57 on Sunday, and then strong south winds pick up, bumping us to 61 degrees on President's Day Monday. That'll be near a record in Salt Lake. Storm moves in Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll start as valley rain, mix with valley snow. All the while, the mountains get plastered all the way through the middle to end of the week. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Kevin says 1 to 2 inches Wednesday and Thursday on the valley floor. Right now, though, 45 degrees in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful, 622.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man.
Grand Staircase Escalante is under attack. Utah politicians are hastily racing to dismantle protections for this special place, one of America's most treasured national monuments and an important part of southern Utah's economy. An overwhelming majority of Utahns support protecting the Grand Staircase for future generations. Yet our voices are being ignored by those meant to represent us. Now's the moment to speak up. Learn more about this attack and what could permanently be lost at suwa.org. Paid for by Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much respect for my family and I don't want to get in trouble.
I promise, Grandma.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL. Digging deeper in today's inflation report, egg prices are down 34% over the past 12 months. A year ago, there were jokes about getting a mortgage to buy a dozen eggs. At one point, they were up at more than $9 a dozen. It's a little lonely at Wendy's these days. The company's in the process of shutting down hundreds of restaurants, up to 6% of them between now and June. We don't know if any restaurants in Utah are going to be putting plywood in the windows. There's been a crash in cocoa prices. They've fallen through the floor, but shopping for Valentine's Day, you wouldn't know. Problem is, chocolatiers bought their cocoa back when prices were in the stratosphere, and this weekend, you're paying for it. On Wall Street today, the Dow is up 48 points at 49,500, not quite back to 50,000. The S&P was up 3 points, while the NASDAQ fell 50.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Amanda, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the theater is laugh. Any show, it doesn't matter. So one that's designed to make me laugh from start to finish, boy, that is in my wheelhouse. And that's what we've got with Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
When we went into the theater, I'm not sure what we were expecting, but we started laughing early on. And then I realized, I'm laughing that big, loud, obnoxious laugh of mine. But mine wasn't the loudest laugh in the theater. We were all laughing, and that made it more fun.
But you walk in, it actually takes a second to realize, wait, this is actually funny from the moment the curtain rises, and it makes you laugh all the way to the end.
We need that, Andy. Don't we need that?
Oh, it's so helpful, and it's so fun to do in a group of people. It just makes everything more enjoyable.
This is in the Jewel Box stage, and then in the brand new theater,
we've got more laughs with Hallmarked, a spoof on that brand new stage, a new theater at Hale Center Theater to enjoy.
And you can still get season tickets and enjoy all of the wonderful shows, including Anastasia, to finish out the year at Hale Center Theater.
So you can get tickets by calling the box office at 801-984-9000 or online at hct.org.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
KSL News Time, 6:29. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Well, I've got a new accident just about 122nd south, southbound I-15. This one is blocking the two left lanes. They're trying to move some of the vehicles over to the far left side, but in the meantime, traffic is being pushed all the way to the right there. You've still got 2 or 3 lanes to the right to get by. However, traffic's starting to stack up now, so you'll see the back end of those delays, almost 114 south at the moment here. The rest of I-15 looks really clear through the Salt Lake Valley here. Still looking at that accident northbound I-15, top of the point of the mountain. Also keeping things very slow back into Lehigh. Eric?
The southbound slowdowns Lehigh to Linden continues in Utah County. Looking for the best Valentine's gift ever? Exclusive Valentine's blankets only available at Minky Couture. Use code KSL50 online and in stores to receive 50% off your purchase. Visit minkycouture.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the weekend is here and temperatures are going to climb. Today we're in the 40s with a few scattered rain showers still hanging around. Partly cloudy and 53 on Saturday, mostly cloudy 57 on Sunday. We'll jump into the low 60s on Monday ahead of a storm that will bring valley rain mixing over to snow for Tuesday, Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Good evening. It's 6:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan, KSL's top local story. BYU wide receiver Parker Kingston is being released from jail on a $100,000 bail. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott has details on his first court appearance.
Kingston appeared virtually for his first hearing today from the Purgatory Correctional Facility in Washington County. He was wearing a gray striped jumpsuit as the judge discussed his case and explained that a felony rape charge carries a penalty of 5 years to life in prison. During this hearing, the state agreed to a $100,000 bail as long as Kingston agreed to not contact the victim in this case and to wear a GPS ankle monitor.
We would ask that he also not use any social media while this case is pending and not publicly disparage the alleged victim or any of the witnesses.
Kingston's next court appearance is set for February 25th. Claire Scott, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story this hour, Homeland Security has sent hundreds of subpoenas to social media companies seeking information about accounts that criticize ICE. That's according to reports from the New York Times, which says these requests were sent to Google, Meta, Reddit, and others. The Times says DHS asked for names, email addresses, and phone numbers. It's unclear what information, if any, was given to Homeland Security. Coming up, your Valentine's weekend forecast and beyond. Stay with us. A change in the weather is coming. It's 6:32.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Hurricane. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. Utah State Fair Park and Washington County Fair Legacy Park. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Utah State Fair Park. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Washington County Fair Legacy Park. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Starting price is too low to advertise. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Hurricane. Utah State Fair Park and Washington County Fair Legacy Park. Deep, deep discounts. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Hurricane. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit HotTubAndSwimSpaSale.com.
What's better than a credit card with low interest? How about one with no interest? For a limited time, when you open a new America First Visa credit card, you'll enjoy 0% APR for the first 6 months. Transfer your balances from higher rate cards to your new America First card to consolidate debt and potentially save yourself a lot of money. That's 0 interest for 6 months. Interested? Then hurry to AmericaFirst.com to apply today. Introductory variable annual percentage rate is subject to membership, eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Other limits and requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
You trust us for news and information in your car. Now trust us at home. KSL News Radio has you covered, keeping you informed on the latest breaking news, weather, traffic, sports, and more. Listen on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. Just say, Alexa, open KSL News Radio. Or listen on the KSL News Radio Listen app. Text the word app to 57500. KSL News Radio. We have you covered.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Mark Christiansen.
Southbound I-15 accident, 122nd south, still taking up the 2 or possibly 3 left lanes. Traffic now backing up into the Sandy area. If you're headed southbound through the first part of the Salt Lake Valley from downtown through Midvale, it looks really good, the freeway speeds there. Northbound travel still slow out of Lehigh due to an accident off to the left-hand side, top of the point. Eric.
The south end of Utah County for southbound I-15 drivers looking a lot better. Still some brake tamping, Springville into Spanish Fork and going from Payson into Santaquin. But the bigger delays continue in the north part of the county. That's southbound 15 from Triumph Boulevard down all the way to about 500 East in American Fork. Two Brothers Mattress. Prices don't get lower than the President's Day sale. Best prices now on all Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Visit twobrothersmattress.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL weather forecast down to 31 overnight. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and 52 for Valentine's Day. Sunday, clouds and 56. We have a storm with valley snow. Wednesday into Thursday, an inch or two expected. Right now, 45 degrees. I'm Jeff Caplan from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's time, Cougar Nation. Cougar Tracks. The best season analysis with BYU insider Mitch Harper on KSL News Radio and on video every day on the YouTube page for KSL Sports.
Welcome into Cougar Tracks here on the KSL Sports YouTube and KSL News Radio, your legacy home of the Cougars. I am your BYU insider, Mitch Harper. It's Friday, February 13th. Oh, that's a little bit ominous. Hopefully it's a good luck day for BYU and this weekend ahead. Lot to get to on today's show, and we start things off with Jimmer Fredette. It's Jimmer weekend, and it can't get here soon enough. That's our top story of the day.
The top story of the day. The biggest story in the world of BYU sports right here on Cougar Tracks.
Jimmer's in town. Him and his family are getting ready for Jimmer weekend as BYU is getting set to retire the jersey of BYU legend Jimmer Fredette. Well-deserved honor. Jimmer, an all-time great in BYU history. And on today's show, I wanted to roll out what I believe are the 10 greatest moments in Jimmer's career at BYU.